Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Dawn here. So today I have this for you. So I got this from the lovely Amy, who is here on YouTube. She is Amy Manley 23. I will leave a link to her channel. So she did gift this to me as a random act of kindness. So I thought I'd come on today and show you and do something with it. So I have done some die cuts. So hang on, I'll just move this. It's gone very dark all of a sudden. I'm trying to see if I can keep the light bulbs away from the glass, because if you can see it's just there and it's a bit off-putting. So let me just, there we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah, so I have moved the paper pad a second. So I have done some die cuts, so I am going to stick these together. These are the centres of the frames. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them yet. Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't decided what I'm going to do. But I mean, I absolutely love all of these. So I'm just going to put these up at the top, just out of the way. And then I have the so she gifted me the die set because she knew I had the Sweet Paris papers. So this is the papers, and they are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they're just absolutely beautiful papers, and how could you not fall in love with them? So my plan today is to make some cards using this set. So I do have 2 card bases out of my stash, and I am using cream. So I'm just going to put these envelopes up here because we don't need the envelopes. So I have picked out 2 cream card bases out of my stash, and then I think we'll go from there. So I'm going to pick out a couple of papers from my background. I really love that one, but I don't think so I'm thinking this one for one of the cards. Actually, maybe I want to use that one as well. Have a look. Ooh, decisions. That one, maybe, yeah, maybe add some of this green in, maybe. Right. Okay, so I've just picked out a couple of bits from my stash. So I'm just going to grab my double-sided tape. Move this card over to the side just a second. I think I'm going to put this green one on first, and then I think I'm going to build up the layers. So make sure that I am in shot. Oh, I just moved my camera just ever so slightly. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to put the side onto it first. Oh, not the side, sorry. Oh dear. I've still got a cold, so it's, yeah. Stick the base down first, was what I was meant to say. So we're going to do that first. I'm going to use this green one, and I am going to do layers, because I think I want to use the elements that I've already die cut. I think I want to use them for all of my detail. So for any of you who don't know, I have set up a new Facebook group, and thank you everyone so far who has joined. It's been lovely seeing your makes. I must admit I'm enjoying it, and you're all super talented, so it's really nice. And I hope that it will build to become a nice little crafting community. So if you'd like to come and join us, then please do follow the links in the description box. It's under follow me. So I have my Instagram link there, I have my Etsy there, and then I have the Facebook group. So yeah, so please do follow me if you're not already. And it is a place where you can go and you can share what you've made and get any ideas. If you're struggling with anything, then you can ask someone, and someone will be able to answer, and just really have fun. Just share all your ideas, just, you know, it'll be as if you're out with your friends having fun. So I'm just going to do this side as well. Not this side, so this card as well. So I'm just going to do the base on this one. So not as much double-sided tape on this one, but depends on how I feel most of the time. So the weather today, oh my word, is absolutely horrible. And my poor daughter, so my youngest daughter, has actually gone to Edinburgh with the school for 2 nights. I mean, she was super excited this morning when we dropped her off. Well, who wouldn't be? You're going away from your parents with all your friends. So she is really, really excited. And then we woke up this morning to rain, and it's not even heavy rain, it's like that drizzle rain that always gets you soaking. Horrible. And then when I've looked at the weather forecast for the poor thing, it's meant to rain today, tomorrow and Friday in Edinburgh, and then be nice on Saturday when she's home. So typical, isn't it? Poor little thing. Right, okay, so I've just gone with the bland backgrounds, and I'm going to add this paper in to both. Now, I am thinking on this one, I do want to add some torn effect on it. So I'm just going, so what I'm thinking is just doing half of it, just like that, just to give it a bit of, yeah. And then this one, again, I do want it ripped. So... but I am thinking that I want this bit here, and then no, that bit there. Yeah, no, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just rip it and see what happens. Yeah, there we go. And then that bit there. So I've still got that pop of colour because I really, really do like that colour. And I'm not going to waste this. This will just go back into with the paper pad, because I do store them, just in case you don't know. I think most of you do know, but in case you don't. So I have these. These are vinyl pouches, so they're for 7-inch records. My husband has a record collection, and he bought these to protect his records, and I sort of spotted the 7-inch and the 12-inch and persuaded him to give me some, and do you know what, they're absolutely perfect for keeping all your bits and pieces together for the same paper pad. So good idea. I have also seen, because my A5 paper pads and my 8x8s don't fit in them, so they are currently in a size 12. They're in a 12-inch pocket, so my cupboard is a little bit bulky with them. But my daughter works in a comic book shop, and they use sleeves for their comic books. So I'm getting her to get me some of them for my A5 papers. And then I just need to see if I can find something for my 8x8s. That's not too bulky, but and they're really, really sturdy as well. They are really hard to break, and I think that's why I like them. I mean, I've had Ziploc bags, and I've used other bits and pieces, like what you put cards in, the cellophane ones, and they just break quite easily. I mean, I'm not the gentlest of people. I can be quite heavy-handed quite a lot, so I break things. Well, I don't break them intendedly, they just break on me because they do. And I just wanted to look for an easy way of storing them, so that if I did have little bits of paper left over from certain pads that I wanted to keep, like the bit off, so like this bit, then I can. So that's how I now store them, and I love that. Right, okay, so there is my 2 bases. So all I'm going to do now, so I have a number of things. I mean, I absolutely love this. So I'm thinking that this I'm going to put there. Now with the frame, I have cut out 3, But what I'm going to do is, just so that it gives us a bit of dimension, is we'll stick this together and have that on there, really like that. And then I have this Eiffel Tower in a couple of colours actually. So I'm thinking the brown, maybe. Oh, yeah. So maybe that for that and that for that. I'm not 100% sure on what this is. However, I think that fits in quite nice on the bottom of there. So I think this is sort of like a, I want to say these are trees. If anybody knows, can you let me know, please? Because I'm not 100% sure actually. Oh, it is. I was right. So it is a scene. So there you go. Yeah, so this is the path. So I thought so. Well, in that case, what I'm going to do then, so is have one on there, and then if I glue these two together, we can put that in there too. Love it. Absolutely love it. And then I think that on this one we will put, what are we going to, yeah, so we can have the Eiffel Tower there, which leaves me with one, but I will just put that back in with the paper pad because I don't need to use it. I don't think I'm going to be using these unless I could use that as the background, but then it sort of clashes, doesn't it, with, let's have a look. What about that? Oh, that could work. Yeah. So that could work. And then I have these Paris as well, wording. So again, I did do 3. So what I'm thinking of doing is, so stick 2 of them together. But what I might do is I might get out one of my liners and just mark that with Paris. And then put that line there, try not to lose my dots, this one there, and then we want a little dot above the Paris, up there, and then if I'm gluing those two together for dimension, then I want both of these little dots to be stuck together. I might put that one on there. Yeah, I really like them. I really do like them. Right, we don't want them. Okay. Move these brushes. I've just washed all my brushes as well, so they're all still quite damp. But hopefully they'll dry quite quickly. Right, okay, so now I've done that, so what I need is, I need to grab my glue. So I've grabbed that. I need some tweezers, so I need my fine tweezers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the frames. So I'm wanting to glue all these frames together. So it's just putting the glue all over. Like this. And then line it up. And it can be quite fiddly, this, but it is worth doing, especially if you want to have the structure there, and if you want it raised as well, because it does make it a lot thicker. So it is more fiddly, but I think it works quite nicely. Make sure, yeah, you can see. So I'm just putting the glue on, and then I'll put the last layer on it. And I keep putting my glue away because, well, I keep putting the lid on and turn it upside down. And that's just because I found that if I leave the lid off, even if it's only for a couple of minutes, it tends to clog up quite quickly. And once it starts getting clogged up, that's it. a nightmare to unclog, and then it'll just keep clogging up on you, because when you poke the needle in, essentially you're pushing that dry glue into your glue, so eventually that comes back up and it'll end up just clogging it. So the longer you can prevent that, the better, really. Okay, so I am going to glue these together, but I do have where a bit hasn't, just here, it didn't sort of come out properly, but it's fine because this is our bottom one. So we just want a bit of glue on each bit, and then again I'm just going to line it up, and I find that by putting it in my tweezers I get a better line up than what I would do as if I was doing it with my hands, and I think it's because you can just see it better. So it is handy to have some really small tweezers on hand. Right, okay, so we want to stick this on, so we want to do all of this. And then we're just going to line that up like that. Really nice. And then make sure this is the right way. Okay. And then we're just going to place the glue onto this and then stick it onto that oval. Like this. And again, I am going to use my tweezers, and then we want to try and get this nicely lined up the best that we can. Really, really nice. I like that. I really, really like that. Amy, thank you so much, honey. This set is gorgeous. And then the last thing that we're going to do, now I am going to get my foam squares out because we're going to raise that up, but I am it's not even a word, I am going to, so there, it's getting plugged. I managed to pull that out though, so we're all good. Right. Okay. And then we're just going to, there we go, stick that there. So I'm going to bring in my foam dots, and then I'm just going to go around the edge of this card and add these on so that we can have it raised up like this. And then I think that it will add to the card and make the card really, really pretty. So if you can hear anything, it is my phone. It keeps going off. I've got a few messages that I need to answer. So I have put it on silent, but it does buzz. It's on vibrate, so, and I put it in the little speaker that my daughter made me, so it's a lot louder. Right, so I'm just going to peel all these off. And then we will stick this on. And again, I will use my tweezers to help me with placement. And then I think the last thing to do, one of the last things to do is we'll put the word Paris on. Before we do that though, I'm going to actually get a pen out, I think, just so that you can actually trace around where it says Paris, because you can't quite see it. I think if I'd used a plain card to do it and then did some ink blending so it sort of brought out the embossed area, I think that would have helped loads, but I didn't. Okay, so let's have a look. Right, if I get my head in the way, I am sorry. just like that. So there you go. So that's done. So let me just move them to the side and let me see what we've got. So I've got this pen. Oh, that's a nice pink. So we'll try with pink first, because what I'm thinking is where it's all embossed is just colour that in using my fine liners. So I don't know if you can see that. Right, let me just come in a little bit. Oh, I'm looking at the camera and you can see my lead. Right, there we go. So, right, as long as I don't move from there, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So, where it's sort of, it's embossed. I mean, you won't be able to see the embossing because, I mean, I can barely see it. And I think it's just because of the paper that I've used that I can't see it. But I'm more or less around where it should be. There we go. Oh, really, really nice. Make sure I don't go off camera. Oh, if I hide the light from it, I can see exactly where it is. So, but it just brings out that extra detail. And it brings out the word as well, because it's a bit hidden. So, yeah. Right, on to the S. I'm just making sure I can see where I'm going. Like say if I cover where the light is, I can see exactly where it is. There we go. So there. Right, so let me pull out again. There we go. Then we have the dot here, so let me just see if we can colour in. Yep. My nails are terrible as well. I need to go and get them done. Right, okay. So, I'm going to grab my glue and I'm going to grab this word Paris. And then I'm just going to pop the glue all over it. Oh, and then I'm going to try not to drop it. And then I'll stick that down there. There we are. And then the very last thing is this. So let's put some glue on. And then put that under there. And then before we finish this card completely, let's just get that in. I'm going to just colour this bit here. And again, it's where it's embossed. And it's a shame really that you can't see it. I mean, I'll know for next time just to use a plain cardstock that would show up quite nicely. But it just gives me an excuse to use my pens even more. Okay, so anything else I would like to add? Let me have a look for my Nuvo drops. Excuse the squeakiness of my chair, decided to roll along. I have these silver ones, but if I remember rightly, this is all clogged. So let's cut it and see if that works. I think it needs a new nozzle on it. Yeah, because it's really clogged. Okay, right, I'll have to buy a new one of them, I think. No. Ooh, what about that one? Oh, that look nice. So I am actually going to do it on the one, not the one, the eye, because why not? And then I'm just going to put a few on the frame, and then there we go. And it just adds that spot of colour. So then let's tap that down just to make it, yeah. So there's our first card we've made using the Sweet Paris die set and papers. So I'm going to leave that to one side to dry. So let me just put these back away. And then let's bring this one in. Okay. Right. So we're going to do the same again. Although, well, very similar. Let me just glue that down and glue this bit down. Right. So what I'm going to do is, so these Paris scenes, I'm just going to adhere these together. Sorry, I'm off screen. So I'm just putting some glue on. I'm going to grab my tweezers, because I just think it's so much easier to do it with your tweezers, and then line them up like that. And this time I think I want to use a grey, so I'm going to use my warm grey one. And again, I'm just looking for that embossed bit. There we go. So very subtle on this one. So I'm going to, again, just get rid of that square. I'm going to put some glue on the back and then position this onto the card, or just around there. And then we're going to do the same with the little dot. So just like that. And then do it before we lose it, because it is very tiny. There we go. Put the dot on, there we are. And then there should be another one, yeah. So I'm going to stick these two together as well. And then we'll put these on our card. And then it's just the main bit. But like I said, I mean, these are absolutely stunning. So do that. And then let's put that on here, like that. Oh, I really like that. I think actually I prefer the grey to the pink one that we've just done. So I am going to raise this element up. So I am going to pop on the back some of my dots. Just like this. Oh, without it sticking to me. There. So we're going to have that just raised there. But first of all, we do need to stick our tower onto our garden scene. So just line that up nicely, like that. So there we have it, our gorgeous little scene. Then I'm going to glue this down onto this oval. And again, we want to line it up so that it looks nice. There. Oh, I love that. Really, really love that. And then I'm just going to take the backs off of here. And I think because we've gone for sort of a subtle look to this one, especially with like the lettering, I've decided to use the grey. I think I will use my rose water liquid pearls instead of the bright red ones. I mean, I love the red ones on the other one, but I think it matches in with the fact that I wrote Paris in quite a vibrant pink. I thought it was my pale pink, but yeah, the lids don't really represent the right colours, and I need to remember that when picking out my colours. So I'm just going to pop this on here like that, and then I'm going to get my rose water Nouveau drops, and again I'm just going to pop a couple, and I'm just doing it on this bit, just like that. So not very many. Oh, left my glue unopened, never mind. And I'll just tidy this up. Right, I'm going to tidy my desk and then I will be back. Okay, so I'm back. So here we have two gorgeous cards made using the Sweet Paris papers and die set. I love them. I love this scene, and the frame is just absolutely gorgeous. I really, really do like that. And you can use really the frame for anything you want. You don't have to use it for the Sweet Paris sets. But isn't that just absolutely beautiful? I love it. I really do love it. I mean, the more I see this, the more I don't like it. But it has... I mean, it looks fine, but I think because I prefer the subtleness of this side, I think that's probably why I'm not liking that as much. And then you've got this one. I mean, they're very, very similar cards. They've both got the tone effect. They've both got the Eiffel Tower scene. They've both got the oval, except one's got a frame, one doesn't. They both have Nouveau drops. So they are the same, but yet they both look different. And they both have a different sort of style. So this one is bright because you've got the bright Paris, you've got the bright Nouveau drops, whereas this one is quite subtle because everything has been done quite subtly. So yeah, I absolutely love them. So thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. I really do appreciate all the support that you are all giving me, and hopefully I will see you very soon in my next video. But until then, happy crafting. Bye.